Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. I recently found out about a terrifying, and I mean terrifying, new scam that is being played on people. And I wanted to share it with you so that you don't fall victim to it. It is actually an upgrade. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's an upgraded scam using modern technology to bilk people out of thousands, and in the process just scare the daylights out of them. So come on, I'm going to share it with you in hopes that your knowing about it and being made aware of it will help prevent you from being a victim of this terrifying scam. I learned about this scam online from a woman named Tanya. Here is her story, and here's how the scam is played out. Tanya was at her home with her grandchildren, having a typical day, and her cell phone rang. Now, this is her personal cell phone, not a business cell phone where the number would be out there for everyone, but a personal cell phone. She answers the phone, and she hears her daughter say in a terrified voice, "Mom, I just had an accident and I'm so sorry, but I really need you to send me some money and to do it right away," or something to that effect. Now, during the conversation, her daughter also used a name for her, a term of endearment that only this daughter used with her. Then after her daughter, a man gets on the phone with a very thick Mexican accent, and he identifies himself as a police officer and says he needs to tell her the details of exactly what happened, but he wants her to step away outside of the hearing of anyone else. When she hears his story, she's outside. He then proceeds to tell her he's not really a police officer, but he's a member of the cartel. He tells her that her daughter was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and she interrupted a deal that he was doing. After he tells her about her daughter interrupting his deal, he says that her daughter cost him a lot of money and that Tanya had better pay him back or he's going to unalive, if you know what I mean, her daughter. Well, of course, Tanya's in a state of panic. She's hysterical because she's talking to someone who's from a cartel who is telling her what he's going to do to her daughter if she doesn't send this money. This man then tells her that she needs to go get her car keys and get the money and go to the closest Western Union and send her the money within an hour. But he also asks her what her best friend's name is. So she tells him her best friend's name. She says, "Well, Karen." And he says, "Well, I want you to go back inside, get the keys, and you're going to be talking to me like I'm Karen." So he tells her, you're to say to me, "Oh my gosh, Karen, I'm so sorry. Of course, I'll come bring it to you right away." So she's saying this as she goes back in the house. Well, by now her husband has come into the room, and he's seeing that she's just in a state of hysterics. He can tell, they're married. And so he asks her what's wrong, and she tells him, "Well, Karen has had a terrible emergency, and she needs me to send her $900 right away. I need your debit card. I need it right now." So her husband, he sees that something's amiss. So he's trying to ask her, what on earth is going on? He goes, "Well, I'll go with you." And she's saying, No. I need to do this myself. Just stay here with the grandkids. I will do it. I will handle it. Please don't come with me. I'll take care of it. So she gets his debit card. She gets in the car and she starts driving. Meanwhile, this guy is still on the phone. He's keeping her on the phone all the time. And then he tells her, "I'm going to hang up, but I'm going to call you back in a few minutes, or my boss will call you back. And you better pick up the phone, because if you don't, that's the end of your daughter." Well, you can imagine the state that she was in. So he hangs up, but in the meantime, before he calls back, she gets a text, and the text is from her daughter. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. So she reads the text, and it's her daughter. And her daughter had gotten a call from the dad. I guess the dad didn't have Karen's number. So he called his daughter to tell her something's really up weird with your mom. I don't know what's going on. Can you see if you can find out? So the daughter texted her and said, I'm at the doctor's office. Dad called me. What in the world is going on? Well, then she realized that this was a scam. And she got, she turned around and she started heading back home. Well, this guy kept calling her and calling her and calling her. And finally, she picked up the phone and she said he cussed her out up one side. She said he said the filthiest things to her she couldn't even repeat. But she was so embarrassed that she would have given him the money if her husband had not called the daughter, who then texted her. But I want to share with you, as a former peace officer, some things that were done and some things to look out for, and perhaps what you can do so you won't be so terrified if someone does this scam to you. Because when they went to the police department to report it, there was someone else at the police department who had experienced this same thing, but they had completely depleted all of their bank account to send to whoever it was that called with this terrifying story. We're in a new age of technology. With AI and all of the upgraded technology out there, people can find out almost everything they need to know about you. They can find out your kids' names, they can find out your spouse's names, they can find out really just about everything. They can also go on, and if you've been on Facebook or YouTube or somewhere where your voice has been, they can mimic your voice and then use it through the technology that's available now to make the sounds, or to make it appear that someone, and that someone being a person you recognize like your child or your husband or your father, that it's them actually talking to you. So you just have to be so alert and aware. What this man did was, number one, he got her away from everyone so no one could hear her talking to him. He got her away so she wasn't able to write a note or, summon to someone so she could put it on speaker so someone else could hear. So he had her go outside, out of everyone's hearing. Number two, he had a sense of urgency. She had to do it right away. And if she didn't do it by a certain time, something was going to happen to her loved one. Number three, and I think I forgot to mention this, he threatened her as to what would happen to her loved one or her daughter if she told anyone. So they isolate you, put the fear of God in you, have you not tell anyone, have a sense of urgency so you do it really quickly before you have a chance for the person who is supposed to be in danger to contact you. And they typically keep you on the phone so that you can't get messages or send messages. So by the time you figure out that it's a scam, it's too late. The money's already been sent. So I would say, do not go into another room. Stay where there are other people if you're around other people. Write a note and have whoever's in the room with you, if there's someone there, have them contact the person who supposedly is in danger. I would also say, if they, like this person, made the mistake, thank goodness, of hanging up and allowed time for the daughter to contact her, if they do hang up, immediately try calling that person, contacting them, contacting someone who you know might be near them or with them or around them who can check on them. But this is happening. It's frightening. It's scary. But I wanted you to know about this advanced technology. So if you get a call, it may sound like your loved one's voice. just so you know that this is what is happening now, because I don't want any of you to be scammed. I know we're all already trying to count our little pennies and survive with inflation and all the rising cost of everything. So I don't want you to lose any money on this kind of terrorizing situation. Can you imagine how frightened and how scared she was? And, you know, some of you may be saying, oh, what a foolish woman. Well, you don't know if you're in that situation and it sounds like your child and you believe it is. You're not stopping to think. You're not even thinking logically. You're just acting out of panic, and you will respond. And that's what they count on. They count on you not stopping to think, that you're being in such a state of panic that you'll hurry up and comply with their directions before you have a chance to check it out. So I just wanted to share this with you, and hopefully none of you will go through this, or none of you have. But if any of you have experienced anything like this, would you drop a line in the comments and let me know? We have to be ever vigilant, because I tell you, there is evil out there, and it is lurking around trying to catch all of us at a weak moment. All right. Love each and every one of you. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.